The average first-time tax filer in 2026 overpays the IRS by $2,400. And the worst part? The IRS will never tell you that you paid too much. I'm about to show you 7 things nobody tells first-time filers. Things that could literally put thousands of dollars back in your pocket this tax season. Whether you're filing as a college student, a freelancer, or working your first real job, this video will save you time, money, and a lot of unnecessary stress. And stick around because at the end, I'll reveal the one document most first-timers forget that cost them an average of $800 in missed deductions. Let's start with the truth nobody wants to admit. Filing taxes for the first time is intentionally confusing. And there's a reason for that. The tax preparation industry is worth $14 billion in 2026. They profit when you think filing is too complicated to do yourself. But here's the first thing they won't tell you. If you made under $79,000 in 2025, you can file completely free through IRS Free File. Not the free version with upsells. Actually free. No hidden fees. No premium upgrades pushed at the last minute. Thing number 2. You probably don't need a CPA. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. If you're a W-2 employee with no side businesses, no investments, and you're taking the standard deduction, your taxes are straightforward. Software can handle it easily. A CPA charges between $300 and $500 minimum. That money stays in your pocket when you file yourself for simple returns. However, if you freelanced, drove for Uber, sold stocks, or had rental income, then yes, get professional help. Those situations get complicated fast. Thing number 3. Let's talk about documents. You need your W-2 from your employer. This shows how much you earned and how much was already withheld. Your employer must send this by January 31st. If you haven't received it by mid-February, contact your HR department immediately. If you had any side income, you'll get a 1099. Freelance work, gig economy, investment earnings. All of this gets reported on different 1099 forms. Here's what trips people up. You might think if you only made $200 driving Uber, it doesn't matter. Wrong. The IRS knows about that income. Companies report all 1099 income directly to the IRS. If you don't claim it, you're basically guaranteeing yourself a letter from the IRS. And trust me, you don't want that letter. You also need your social security number and a copy of last year's return if you filed one, plus bank account details if you want direct deposit for your refund. Thing number 4, and this is huge. The standard deduction for 2025 taxes filed in 2026 is $14,600 for single filers. This means the first $14,600 you earned is essentially tax-free. This is automatic. You don't need receipts for the standard deduction. But here's where first-timers lose money. They don't know about deductions they actually qualify for on top of the standard deduction. Student loan interest. You can deduct up to $2,500 of the interest you paid. Not the whole payment, just the interest portion. Your loan servicer sends you Form 1098-E in January. Don't throw this away. This single form could save you over $500 depending on your tax bracket. Did you move more than 50 miles for your first job? Those moving expenses might be deductible if you're in the military. For civilians, this deduction was eliminated in 2018, still gone in 2026. Retirement contributions. If you put money in a traditional IRA, that reduces your taxable income dollar for dollar. This is the easiest way to lower your tax bill. Thing number 5. Free tax software isn't actually free for most people. This is the biggest scam in the industry. Companies advertise free federal filing. Then when you're 90% done, they hit you with fees for state returns, slightly complex situations, or faster refunds. The actual IRS free file program partners with specific companies. Go directly to irs.gov/freefile to access the real free options. If you make over $79,000, Free File Feeable Forms lets you file free federal and state returns. It's basically like doing paper forms, but online. Less hand-holding, but actually free. No upsells. No premium features. Just straightforward tax filing. Thing number 6. Let's talk about the biggest mistakes that trigger IRS audits. Math errors top the list. This sounds obvious, but manually entering numbers wrong is the number one reason the IRS computers flag returns. Double-check everything before submitting. Claiming huge deductions relative to your income. If you made $30,000 but claim $15,000 in charitable donations, expect questions. Not reporting all income. I mentioned this earlier, but it's critical. If you got a 1099, the IRS got a copy too. They will catch unreported income. Rounding numbers too much. Your W-2 says you earned $43,287. Don't round it to 43,000. Use exact numbers. Filing late without an extension. The deadline is April 15, 2026 for your 2025 taxes. Miss it? Penalties and interest start immediately. If you need more time, file Form 4868 by April 15th. This gives you until October 15th to file. But any taxes owed are still due April 15th. Thing number 7. This is the one that saves first-timers the most money. Education credits. Specifically the American Opportunity Credit. If you're in your first 4 years of college, this credit is worth up to $2,500. Not a deduction, a credit. Dollar for dollar off your tax bill. And here's the best part. 40% of it is refundable. Even if you don't owe taxes, you could get up to $1,000 back. Your school sends you Form 1098-T showing tuition paid. Don't lose this. This is the $800 document I mentioned at the beginning that most first-timers forget about. So here's exactly what to do next. First, gather all your documents. W-2s, 1099s, 1098s for student loans and tuition. Second, decide if you're filing yourself or getting help. Simple W-2 only situation? Do it yourself. Multiple income streams or self-employment. Consider a professional. Third, if filing yourself, use IRS Free File if you qualify. Start at irs.gov, not a commercial site that just says free. Fourth, take your time. The IRS doesn't process returns faster if you file in January versus March. Accuracy matters more than speed. And if you're getting a refund, choose direct deposit. You'll get your money in 2 to 3 weeks instead of waiting 6 to 8 weeks for a paper check. If you owe money, don't panic. You can set up a payment plan directly with the IRS. They're actually pretty reasonable about it if you communicate. One final tip. After you file, keep a copy of your return for at least 3 years. You'll need it for future filings, loan applications, and financial planning. If this video helped you feel less stressed about taxes, smash that like button and subscribe to Operation Wealthy. We make finance actually understandable. Filing taxes for the first time doesn't have to be scary. Armed with the right information, you can save thousands and avoid the mistakes that cost most first-timers. You've got this.